Sit back, relax, put your belt on, and enjoy the show.
All right, well, let's move on to the Reds versus the Blues.
So as far as I know, there's no injuries to report out of this one. There's a few people, not getting a run. But as far as I can see here, we've got the return of Offa to Ungafasi from an injury after both having a hand and a knee niggle.
There are some new injuries. Sorry, you got obviously Josh Goodhue's ankle, so he won't
true.
be playing. Dalton Papali'i has to prove he's
playing. He's named.
His name, sorry,
yeah.
And what about Sam Knock? Do we see
cares?
if he's on the bench?
I mean people that are valuable.
He's not on the bench.
Was he always going to start over Ruru? I don't even on the bench over Ruru. Not necessarily. So
no, not necessarily.
Who cares? So realistically, Goodhue is not there, but he's replaced by Patrick Tuipulotu. So that was going to happen.
Tough for them.
Anyway, so there's not some big changes. They realistically have a full strength side to pick from.
Yeah.
Minus Clark, who's gone to sevens,
and they've got a Terra Black there.
So they've got a full strength side to select from here. If we look at the Reds, they've got an unchanged 15 after their performance last week. And we talked about a little bit earlier, their bench players didn't do too well when they came on, and they're the ones who have suffered, and they're the only changes. There have been 3 changes from the match day 23. Angus Blythe has come in, Sam Wallace has come in, and Moses Sorobi has come in for Fraser McWright, Sarah Uru, and Kalani Thomas. So
I find that crazy that Fraser McWright's not on the bench.
I agree.
I find it crazy that Sarah Uru is not on the bench either. I mean, the two of them, that's impact right there. They might not have made any impact last week, but that's impact usually.
I think Moses Sorobi all day should be there above Kalani Thomas.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But you said Sam Wallace is in instead?
Sam Wallace.
Who the hell is that?
Yeah, he must be. I think he's a back rower.
He is a back rower. Yeah, he's a 7. He's played a couple of times off the bench.
Yeah, I'm big
University of Queensland.
Although I would say I think that Angus Blythe deserves to have another crack. He's had a pretty disappointing year. He's a good player. He needs to have a chance.
Yeah, I think that's fair enough. Give him a bit of a crack. There's a couple exciting changes for the Blues. Cargie, do you want to take us through those?
Can do. Offa Tuangafasi back, as we've said. Paddy Tuipulotu back again, we've said that. But no, exciting changes. Akira Ioane starting in at 8. How good. He's apparently been promoted to the team because of his defensive physicality. So he's there to take some scalps. And that has caused Hoskins Sotutu to move to the bench, which is pretty huge. And look, we are all massive fans of the big red dog of Tom Robertson and the leadership role he's played. Big South, particularly in the absence of Patrick Tuipulotu. But I think I've said this every week on the podcast, but Hoskins Sotutu and Akira Ioane, ¿por qué no los dos? Why can't we have both? Have them at 8 and 6. I don't understand how either of those players is not starting in any team they play in.
Yeah, Tom Robertson offers something very different, but I don't disagree.
It's crazy.
The Tutu and Akira, I mean, they're more like for like, but gosh, they add a lot of punch. You want to give these guys some good game time.
I mean, for mine, look, they could well start at 6 and 8 for the All Blacks. You know what I mean? Like, I understand the wealth of props that the Blues have, that they just rotate them in and out, all these All Black props, but it seems crazy having such good loose forwards and having one come off the bench. So anyway, big week for Akira. Huge fan of that.
Another thing on the back of that is Tom Robinson has lost his captaincy with Tuipulotu back as well. So
yeah, I did think that his leadership was something that they were kind of holding him in the side a little bit more for as well. It makes more sense if Patrick Tuipulotu is going to continue just to build his minutes up, that he comes off and then you bring someone like Tom Robinson on late in the game to assume the captaincy.
Yeah, no, I like that. And the other big change for the week is AJ Lamb, younger brother even of Big Ben Lamb, who has been killing it the last few weeks. He has gone to the bench, and we've seen Mark Talea promoted to start in the 11 jersey, someone who we were very excited about. I think we must have talked up a lot with Caleb Clark departing. We thought that he was going to come out all guns blazing.
He was a breakout star last year.
First half of last year.
He was so good.
That's it. So, I mean, look, for mine, the two things I'm most excited to talk about, I mean, obviously Zahn Sullivan. I mean, I wasn't actually going to bring him up, but again, continually starting at 15, he's been fantastic. But no, the two big ones for me in this game is going to be the things I'm looking forward to watching. Mark Talea versus Suliasi Vunivalu. How good's that going to be? That battle on the wing there.
Are they? Oh, they are.
They are, mate. They're head-to-head. And speaking of another head-to-head, I've got some trivia for you as well. Who is the heavier prop? Tight head Taniela Tupou or loose head Offa Tuangafasi? They're thinking hard.
Offa's definitely
Offa's
taller.
taller, yeah. Offa's got height.
So I'll say Offa being taller.
Yeah, I'm with him.
Well done. You logicked it. Well done. They've got Offa down at 135 kegs, and Taniela apparently has slimmed up a little bit. He's now down to the 120s, 128 kilos. So
the difference is that Taniela Tupou can run 200 meters in the time it takes Offa to run 50.
That's true. Look, I'm going to say Tupou is about 95% muscle, and Offa just a little bit less than that, perhaps.
Offa's up there, mate.
Sorry, not Offa. Sorry, we're talking about Carl. We're talking about Big Carl here. Big Carl, loose head, is at 135. But anyway, I'm really looking forward to seeing that scrum battle. And as I said, Vunivalu and Mark Talea. Those are going to be huge battles for mine.
The one for me is Suliasi Vunivalu. I think we've just seen his absolute class with every touch he gets. And, I was thinking this could be the week that Mark Talea gets to break, come through and make his name. It's not going to be. He's up against Suliasi Vunivalu, who is, I would say, the most athletically gifted rugby player in Australia right now. He is ridiculous.
He is. And we knew he would be. And the difference at this point compared to Cargie picking him in the draft at the early start of the year is he's actually had some time to get back into rugby and understand, formations and understand different things about rugby and, how it's different to rugby league.
When you're an Adonis as he is, you don't need to understand anything about the game other than give him the ball, point in which direction to run in, or, as we've talked about, mate, just play the old Waratahs Folau ball. Just kick it across to that side of the field, and chances are he's going to score a try. All right,
I've worked that out.
I'd back him over today. Let's be fair. But look, this is going to be an interesting game. You've got two forward packs that have a lot of big bodies, some hard runners, and you've just got absolute talent on the wings and out back. This is two teams with a lot of strike power. They can attack you and beat you down in a lot of different ways. This is going to be a tough one for both sides to edge out and get the win.
Yeah, it's probably the Blues close to the strongest I've seen them all year, to be honest with you. I think it's right up there. I think one of the other changes that we were hoping to see was Stephen Perra-Franchise back in the side. I can confirm, I don't know if we said this last week, that he has been sent back to club rugby to play more fly half because that's where they want him to play again. So
yes, boys. Zahn Sullivan at fullback, Perra-Franchise in at 10.
And Zahn Sullivan's got, a boot that is absolutely exceptionally long that I think they know they need to compete at this level with the best sides as well. So I think it's a real weapon to them. And, next year, if Beauden Barrett misses one game, hopefully it's Stephen Perra-Franchise that we see on the bench coming in.
I think one other thing in this one is something that can separate them. I really think James O'Connor's class at 10's been pretty pivotal for them. And if you're throwing that up against a Terry Black, I think there is a significant difference. Tate McDermott, if he's forward packs moving forward, I'd be picking him all over Finlay Christie as well because he was just...
So you thought Christie was the best player in the world?
I really like him. He's a ginger, but he's good. But no, look, I think that 9-10 access for the Reds, if they're moving forward, is really, really strong. Another thing is we have Jock Campbell. There were thoughts where he was coming back potentially for this one, but Bryce Hegarty had potentially his best game, I really think, in his time, at least at the Reds, if not in Super Rugby last week. But how can we skip it? James O'Connor playing his 100th Test match, 100th match, and it's their last game in Queensland. The Reds fans will be out for this one. It's going to be a good match.
Yeah, especially after last week's win. Hopefully it means that they get a bit more crowd.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, what are we tipping for this one?
I was just going to say, I remember hearing the stat that for every 5,000 people you have at your home game, you generally get one extra penalty. Truly. They were looking at, what's his name, looking at the cohesion and stuff like that. That was the one thing they looked at for home advantage and saying that refs are human. And that seems to be the stat. So hopefully they can get 40,000 out there and crack a record and get 8 extra penalties.
That'd be nice.
So how did Richie McCaw bluff that system then? Because to the Crusaders, I mean, I don't know how they had an extra 300,000 people in the stadium, but It's
No comment. I don't adhere to this.
I think he's what you call a good open side flanker. So.
All right, very good. Tips for this one, Nels.
I mean, it's hard to not do it. I'm going to back the Reds. I think the confidence out of their win last week, last game at home, Jock with his 100th. This is a game that they should be able to have a sniff in here. I'm not going to be overly surprised if it goes the other way, but I'm going to just back them, hope they get things right, and say they get the win. I'm a little disappointed about their bench and those changes. I don't think that'll help them late in this game, which is something that, is a chance for them to lose it there. But I'll say they're going to win it, and they're going to win it tight. It'll be 3 points.
Nice. Harry?
Yeah, look, I think I agree with you in that. I think there'll probably be 5 points or less in it either way. And it's really, to me, a flip of the coin. I'm gonna back my boys as well, the Aussie side. I'm gonna say the Reds by 2 points.
Excellent. I deliberately let both of you go first so you can look silly. I'm going to pick the Blues and by 12. So love the Reds, but mate, as you said, Harry, I think the Blues are looking near the best they've been. And look, they're top of the table, Super Rugby Trans Tasman. They want to stay that way. They have 2 eyes firmly on this trophy.